This is Umar Ahmed for IFLTV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're in central London here. Kogan's just done a bit with you and Jake Paul, so I know you've talked about Taylor Serrano, but just a quick one on it. See, DAZN have been pushing women's boxing from the start, you have as well, so this is a big moment, not just for women's boxing, but a sport, Eddie.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen the turnout today, you've seen obviously the pre-sale at MSG. This is the biggest fight of the year so far of everything that's been announced. So goes to show you the strength of women's boxing through the numbers, but also it's a brilliant fight. So yes, biggest female fight of all time, of course, but one of the biggest fights to be made in boxing. And you've seen from the pre-sale, the media turnout, the attention, it's going to be a huge event.
And a lot of Irish are going to be going over to New York.
Yeah, I mean, we're expecting a complete sellout. I think it'll be at least half full with Irish. The atmosphere will be brilliant.
Okay, now you did obviously 55 minutes with Coogan. He absolutely hounded for it, that interview. Just want to clear some things up, Eddie. So you said, I think about halfway into the interview, that we never asked questions of Tyson Fury and Frank Warren. So just want to ask you some things and clear some things up. So Coogan has actually asked him about, this is Tyson Fury, about donating to the homeless. He has asked that question. And you said we haven't asked that, so...
I don't know. I mean, look, really, Umar, you don't really ask great probing questions. I mean, there are some promoters, I feel like some promoters do interviews with you guys, they ask what's going to be said first, they have notes, they ask to see the interviews, they get the interviews cut. One promoter I know did an interview with you the other day for 50 minutes. Right, and then phoned up and asked you not to put the interview out. So, unfortunately for me, all I do is I do it raw. I never ask to know a question. I never ask for things to be taken out. I never ask to see it before it goes out. I never say, oh, don't put that interview out. But people don't really see that. I just feel that your interviews are more kind of like leading questions, asking what people want to be asked. Like, at no point are we saying to Tyson Fury or to Frank Warren, can we just confirm that the reason this whole deal, which your team started anyway, didn't take place is because you weren't willing to fight Alexander Usyk first?
Eddie, I literally asked Frank Warren that on the 31st of January, about 12 minutes in. I read out Igor Klimas' tweet, which he addressed to Tyson Fury.
So he admitted that Fury...
No, well, I'll say, because I actually it was my fault. The previous interview I did with Frank, I actually said, oh, Eddie's saying, like Fury didn't want it, whatever. But that's between, you've had that back and forth with Fury and whatever for a while. Aegis and Team Usyk have got no problem with them. He was actually agreeing with you. Frank Warren's response was, we had March 26th booked for ages. Fury wanted...
Not true. But anyway, look...
What, you didn't have March 26th booked?
I didn't have it booked. I mean, it's a date... Tyson Fury has spent the whole time goading AJ, saying how rubbish Usyk is. He's a middleweight. Can't believe you lost to him. I'd smash him. But he wouldn't fight him. So it's like, you're not asking... But it doesn't, like, I'm not getting argued. I don't watch all the interviews religiously. I don't know what you've asked. I just see it. I see the responses of people saying that no one really grills anyone. I don't do interviews with you anyway. Not because I don't like you.
Coogan,
Yeah. So, but he grills me a lot. I just feel that you got to work on your questioning a little bit more because it's very friendly. Okay.
So I said to Frank, well, does Fury want a warm-up fight? Why isn't he fighting Alexander Usyk? I said this to him, and Frank Warren's response was, Alexander Usyk won't be ready till May or June. So I don't know if that's true, but that's what he's saying. Right, he's saying that if Aegis or Usyk come out and say, we could have been ready for March or April, then...
But anyway, it doesn't matter. But the reality is that Fury says all this stuff, but the truth is he wouldn't fight Usyk. He for how small he is, for how bad he is, for whatever he is, he's not that great. He's another Thomas Adamek. Yet you weren't willing to go straight into a fight with him. But it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant anyway.
Okay. But if he wanted a warm-up fight, like Dillian White is not a takeover fight, is he?
No, because in the end, the deal couldn't be done because he wanted a fight first. So the deal was completely off the table. So it was irrelevant anyway. And then in the end, he went, oh, fuck it, I'll fight Dillian White. So, it's not really my opinion. It's everybody's opinion about your interviewing. But, we live and learn.
Okay, but I'm seeing Frank Warren on Wednesday at a London press conference, right, for a fight that's going to be announced. Anything you want asked...
It doesn't bother me. It's just that what people need to know is my interviews are raw, yeah? I don't have notes. I don't have people holding things up behind the camera. Say this, say this. Oh no, cut the interview, stop the interview. Hold on, we need to just get a bit of information again. I don't phone you up begging to take an interview down that I've just done for 45 minutes. Everything I say comes out the mouth and on your camera. That's all I'm saying.
Just to clear up as well, that 45-minute interview thing is just true, but that you're not referring to Frank about that.
No.
Now let's just go through some things that you discussed with Coogan the other day. So the deposit for the $4.1 million, I believe the WBC have received that
on Friday or something. Maurizio posted saying that's been received, I believe, yeah.
Okay. And contracts have been sent to Dillian and his lawyers. Have you seen those contracts?
No, they were sent late on Friday night. I've got a meeting with Dillian's team tomorrow. I won't be going through the contract. That'll be Dillian's lawyer going through the contract. And again, like, you know, Frank says he's not involved in the fight. I'm not involved in the fight. I lost the purse bid. So I'm happy to not be involved in the fight, and I'll be involved in the fight in any capacity Dillian Whyte wants me to be. Because he's a mate, we've backed him his whole career, and that might be a little bit of advice. It might be being there by his side the whole camp. I don't know. We'll talk to his team this week. But I just want to see him win the fight. You know, we've worked so hard for this opportunity for Dillian Whyte, and I want to see him win the world heavyweight title.
Of course, Dillian and his lawyers, whoever's representing him, is going to have to sign something. For this fight to take place, do you have to sign anything? I'm guessing no.
I do not. I've never had a contract with Dillian Whyte. I've been fight by fight his whole career because I never felt like I needed a contract with him because we've got a good relationship. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's up to him how he wants me involved. You know, obviously I'd be a massive asset to the promotion, but I've got a lot on my plate. But I'll help Dillian in any way I can to help him prepare for the most important moment of his career.
Have you privately discussed with Dillian whether he's going to give you a cut?
No. I mean, look, we've got a meeting tomorrow, but it's not about a cut for me, Umar. I don't.
No, I know it's not about. Like, you know, but if you're representing him,
I want to see him win the world heavyweight title. So, you know, I don't know. He hasn't got a contract with me. Doesn't have to give me anything. I'm not bothered. It's not about, like, you know, some promoters have got no money in the bank. You know, you can see it on Company's House. We don't need the money. I just want to see Dillian get his opportunity and win a world heavyweight title because we fought hard, you know, with the governing bodies for his whole career for him to get this chance. So, you know, I saw Tyson Fury. He's not getting a cut of it. I don't need a cut of nothing. Do you know what I mean? The only thing I need a cut of is this unbelievable Tom Sweeney double-breasted whistle.
Just wondering if Dillian just offered you something out of his...
Yeah, we'll see. Be very nice.
Better would. Okay, now you also said in Coogan's interview that they manipulated the bid. Now, I think everyone in boxing knows they would have done a deal with Tyson Fury.
Oh, yes. It's not illegal, what they've done. I would have done the same thing. What you do is, to get control of the fight, you agree a purse with the lion's share fighter, and therefore you can overbid, and what you're bidding, you're not actually paying. So that's what has happened in this case, and it's happened with me before. I've done it before. It's not illegal. It's a smart way to win a purse bid.
But if you had done it, would you say you've manipulated it? It's just a little bit of a negative term, isn't it?
But that's you, Umar. You know, that's ultimately, no one else has said that other than you. Manipulated it is when you manipulate the numbers in your favour for your benefit.
Isn't that just standard, though?
It's manipulating the purse bid to win the purse bid. As I said, nothing illegal, nothing dodgy. I've done it before. I've manipulated purse bids before to gain control of a fight. So, you know, that's another one. You can ask Tyson Fury if he's getting 33 million. Yeah, the answer's no.
I definitely will at the press conference, whenever that is. Okay, the other thing that you mentioned was him being licensed by the board. This is his first fight in the UK for God knows how long. So how comes you suggested that, Eddie, just to clear that up?
I don't know. I mean, there's a few. You hear all kinds of things. Journo's court. I don't know if he has a British boxer. I don't know who he's licensed with. But, you know, I know there's a couple of other things pending and outstanding. By the way, I don't think that's going to stop the fight. But these are all issues that, you know, the difference is when you've dealt with a lot of stuff, sometimes it leaves you sceptical. So let's just say sometimes I'm sceptical about certain things. So do I think the fight will happen? Yeah, I do. Is there a chance it won't? Yeah, absolutely.
Because of a licence issue?
No, not really. That was just something that was discussed in an interview. I never said he doesn't have a British licence and that will stop the fight from happening. But there are, you know, I'm sure there's hurdles to overcome.
Okay, say there was a licence issue. Say there was. Do you not think the star is obviously the only British heavyweight world champion, Robert Smith's going to licence it?
Robert Smith don't work like that. What are you saying? That Robert Smith's dodgy because he's a big star?
I'd say he's dodgy.
But Robert Smith will go through a process. You know, he's a British Boxing Board of Control. But it doesn't just because he's... But by the way, you sort of put in, you know, that there's going to be necessarily an issue with him getting a licence. I mean,
I didn't think there was.
But now, it's like, no, but I don't know. All I said was I don't know the licence that he holds and if he's eligible to even fight in this country at the moment. Okay. He's a big star, so apparently it won't be a problem.
Well, it's the first time he's fought on UK shores as a star, really. The Sefri and Pianetta fights, he was a big name, but he wasn't a superstar, Tyson Fury. And Dillian Whyte, obviously, you did an amazing job with him on pay-per-view on Sky Sports, headline a lot of pay-per-view fights, and a climate where you had Joshua and Fury. So you've obviously done a very good job with Dillian. Considering that, Fury's profile, Whyte's profile, how many buys does this do on BT Sport Box Office, in your opinion?
BT Sport Box Office. It's a big fight. 800,000 buys. 700,000 to 800,000 buys. Which would break all BT records by a considerable amount, which would be a big number for him.
Okay. Obviously, you guys in DAZN bid high, like you had the second highest record bid. If this fight was won by you and DAZN, would this been DAZN pay-per-view?
Absolutely.
And how do you think that would have performed, considering it was DAZN's first pay-per-view fight?
I mean, I don't know. It's a tough question to ask. I mean, you know, it's obviously a newer platform right now. It doesn't have the same brand value as BT. It's an up-and-coming platform, but you know, certainly they would have been very aggressive, or they were being very aggressive on the basis of it would have been a big coup for them to get that fight, and that's why we bid so aggressively.
Since October, Fury Wilder 3's taken place, Joshua Usyk won, and obviously now Fury Whyte's going to happen. None of them have been on DAZN from a UK perspective. So,
which fights?
So Fury Wilder 3, Joshua Usyk 1. I know that was globally DAZN, but Sky Box Office UK, and Fury Whyte's going to be BT and ESPN. From a UK rights point of view for DAZN, is there more pressure to land Usyk Joshua 2 on DAZN?
They'd like to. I mean, obviously, don't forget, DAZN is a global platform. So Joshua against Usyk was on DAZN globally outside of the UK, particularly in the US, which is their most important market. They'll definitely be aggressive in trying to land Joshua Usyk. But as you said before, when you compare buys, you know, BT can't do as many buys as Sky at the moment, for example, and DAZN are obviously new to that format and that system, so they'll be very aggressive. But a bid or a number always has to make sense. So you know, there's two elements for DAZN. There's the global element, and particularly the US market, and there's the UK market as well, which is obviously very important to them as well. I
know you said the Sky element there, but the BT Sport Box Office is going to be sitting on the Sky platform in terms of a red button. Has it? I've had to sign up.
Always open.
Do you not think that will help their sales?
It just doesn't have the same machinery as the Sky Sports Box. There's a difference. There's Sky Box Office, which is where it sits, and there's Sky Sports Box Office. And Sky Sports Box Office does come with the artillery and a propaganda machine of Sky Sports News and other systems as well. So both good platforms.
Just a quick one. Of course, Eubank Jr. won on the weekend. Conor Ben put out that tweet. Calla said, "We're up for it." Eubank Jr. said, "We're up for it." Thoughts?
I think it's a huge fight. I mean, you'd need Eubank to come down to 154, which would be difficult, and you need Conor to go up to 154, which would be difficult. But our aim for Conor is for him to win a world title at 147. Different stages in her career. Conor's just starting out, really, in that level, and Eubank is coming towards the end. I think he's 33, 32, something like that. So, but love to talk to Calla about it. Huge fight. But right now, just focus on April. Fight announcement coming soon for Conor Ben.
And also this Saturday night, tune into DAZN, Jacobs Ride at Ali Pali.
Yeah, big show, about 7,000 in there, about 3,000 Johnny Fisher fans as well. Big fight for Danny Jacobs, big fight for John Ryder. Haven't seen, you know, a big US name like Danny Jacobs here for a long time, still in his prime, and it's a big moment for John Ryder.
Thank you very much.